Pleasant good day to wherever you are. Thanks to the new people that are coming in. Do remember to make sure that you hit the like button, share the live, don't keep it to yourself. You understand? Me have to share my screen because I tell you it's a whole heap of video. You know me I watch Mr. Lonesome last night, you know. Yeah man. And the man showed this at the spark me for do some more digging. You know, check this out. Check this out, my people.
Right? No go see the shower labor, right? No go see where it need. No go see shower Posse. Look here. Who wants to shower Posse?
In 1984, 5 people are executed in a Miami crack house. One, a pregnant woman, is found in a praying position as if pleading for her life.
Oh God!
So the man them unalive and pregnant woman. She was found in a pleading position like she beg for her life and the man is still unalive. Shower Posse in America, you know. Listen to this.
The pregnant woman pleading and them kill her. We see what them never know, you know. We see I never know, you know. After them kill off, who and them run by the length part of the 81. So come up by 84, you know. 1,400 then kill over there too, you know.
Yeah, man.
Hey, them dangerous, you know. Look here.
Charged this slaughter was the handiwork of Jamaican posses that killed 1,400 people around the nation during the 4-year investigation. Among arrests that began yesterday were 34 members of the Miami-based Shower Posse, so named because they rained bullets on their enemies.
These people are...
People, you hear where the name shower come from? Because them red bullet pan you. Rain it down, shower it. And me hear the Prime Minister. I use criminal, that's what I'm telling you, it's a criminal organization. You one of them use shower labor, right? Man, they say power to the people. And these people coming and use shower. This bad. You understand? You see this door? Eh? Shower, Posse, hear this, hear this.
The nation during the 4-year investigation. Among arrests that began yesterday were 34 members of the Miami-based Shower Posse, so named because they rained bullets on their enemies.
These people are absolutely the most vicious organized crime group in the United States today.
The most vicious! And them have enough group. Them have some group from over so. Like them guys from the mafia, them from over in Europe. But Shower Posse was the most vicious at the time. Them train them up. Like the military, paramilitary, you know. You understand? Yep. And them so vicious that them go over there go kill over 1,400 in a space of no time. And more than that, them killing light titans.
Yeah, man, I'm more than that, man. Away I say, man. That I know the first 4 years, you know. I remember them I go like about 81. Between back in 80, 81, and within 4 years, 1,400. So if you bust that in the 4, you know what? At 350 a year, them I do. Like one a day.
Yes. See? And them time they only think to them and mash up so much. Them killing off.
Some innocent people getting killed as a result of the existence of these organizations.
Federal, state, and local agencies in 21 cities around the nation are serving 435 warrants. The violations include murder, drug trafficking, and illegal weapons. 91 warrants in South Florida include 70 in Broward and fewer than 10 in Dade, while the Immigration Service is searching for 20 illegals imported from the slums of Jamaica where the violent posses originated. Authorities say the posses are so evasive, a multi-agency task.
You know, so most of them did have them papers. Them get papers after the dirty work at Jamaica. Because them got 20 illegals. But you still have so much of them there.
Yeah, man.
I saw Queenie, how you get the papers, sir? Which is the papers. So. Queenie did have papers and live over there too, you know. After the 80, you know.
Colonel Charles and the whole of them get paper them time, them, man.
You understand?
That was the rewarding to carry out the work of the CIA, you know.
But you see what them go over there going to do? Can they go to the cook and thing, you know? Eh?
So it backfire upon the CIA.
But you this now.
It mashed them up.
But you
that's even them have to start run scared from them.
But you this now, the man them say, when them did a walk like them go burn down even time and all them a shoot people, I quote them did a take, you know. Them make carry a coke up and feel like people around them talk to me, you know. Them feel like them a high man now, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So them quote them up. So them lick them coke, you know. When them are stepping
Yeah.
up. So them feel like them not run for nothing, you know. So
Nothing.
they take coke. And them jump each other too, you know.
Oh God, and dance and make sound like monkey.
Eh?
They know you then them not make sound like monkey when them naked down the man. I jump one another.
Eh? Can you imagine?
Some monkey sound and some monkey sound are going down there and some chimpanzee sound, you know.
Them are swing
Some sound where you know where human being not supposed to have making us, so it have them, you know.
So them just swing power whisper that.
Where I say.
Eh? Yeah man, watch out.
A task force called Rum Punch 2 had to be formed.
To go out and arrest large numbers of people who have been escaping because of the lack of resources and manpower.
But more than half of those scheduled to be arrested are still at large. Among those, the head of the shower posse, Vivian Blake. If convicted, Blake faces 390 years in prison and a $15.5 million fine.
That mean that make money.
390 years in a prison, people. Them money no normal. 390 years. For you who want to give a man 390 years, you know how much crime you must be involved in that? Eh? You know how much crime?
To 15 at them time there. 15
At them time there.
And 390 years in prison, they get less still, you know. Come on, Jamaica.
Yeah, they get less.
Yeah, because I forgot sick. And that's why, see, I got kill Jimbo on them too, you know. In a prison. Never want to go.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
No, I couldn't make him go overseas. You're mad.
390 years, people.
Wow.
You know, so Andrew forget this time.
And that just tell us that same sentence, and to forget 390.
Those scheduled to be arrested are still at large. Among those, the head of the shower posse, Vivian Blake. If convicted, Blake faces 390 years in prison and a $15.5 million fine for his role in the shower posse.
The shower posse is the largest posse of some 40 that are presently active in the United States.
You hear that? When you hear that?
Yeah. Them do the killing in Jamaica. I remember 20 of them say want now the papers. So they were the people. The largest posse in the United States. Over 40 of them. Remember play about that, brother. Brother, that school that teach, you know. I go tell them this to me. Yeah.
The head of the shower posse, Vivian Blake. If convicted, Blake faces 390 years in prison and a $15.5 million fine for his role in the shower posse.
The shower posse is the largest posse of some 40 that are presently active in the United States.
The 62-count shower posse indictment unsealed in Miami today shows just how organized and violent the Jamaican drug gangs can be.
So people, you see the same how them organized are going to kill people and Bolo even tied them. At the same thing when them get the training, them they get the training when I'm doing, you know, so say I use reverse. Remember all on there? I soon come back on that. Say I use reverse psychology. And the labor right them still do it same way.
Not even going at that. So we just want to touch upon that for waiting no appetite. See? Yeah man. Just want to touch upon that because you have to understand it really take place now this thing. This thing are really normal like what we think. You see me? I don't even watch these documentaries if you don't watch them before. I understand.
As Wagwan.
No. God have mercy. Yeah, that one a lady talking. That one lady. See it here?
Strong leaves 4 dead, 18 wounded. The gunmen are Jamaican gangsters.
Since 1986, we estimate over 4,500 deaths attributed to Jamaican violent crime.
London, November 1993. The funeral of community policeman Patrick Dunn, shot dead in Clapham by Yardie drug dealers.
Their recourse to violence is much quicker than any other group, certainly that I've known. And the overtness of it is quite staggering.
Kingston, Jamaica, the home of the Yardies. Assignment examines why the ghettos of Kingston have produced international drug dealers feared by the police on both sides of the Atlantic.
And the thing they like to do is shower their victims with bullets.
So, this is why, according to the documentary, you know, people, them call themselves the shower posse. Now, for your political organization, really, in our democratic state, really a champion that logo and that tagline. And then we hear them make utterances. You see me, I said the type of utterances that they make. You know, you no question them things, they want to know if say something wrong. Hear me, people? You know if say something is extremely wrong with this picture here. Make we continue.
Maypen Cemetery in Kingston, the capital of Jamaica. Here lie the gunmen, the hustlers, the drug dealers, the exploiters and the exploited.
Community leader in our area. He was loved by everybody. Old, middle-aged, young, everybody.
Jim Brown bankrolled Tivoli. Much of his wealth came from crack dealing in the United States. His gang, the Shower Posse, led the Jamaican assault on the US drugs market. Some of his riches came back to Tivoli and helped fund community projects.
Old people, they would come and hug him, kiss him. And old people love him off real because the person he is. Because the person he is, always trying to help someone, say something to them. Word of encouragement, saying to the kids, talking to the kids, telling them that they must try to achieve a better tomorrow because, you know, they have to go to school and things. He's a principal person. He believes in a lot of principles.
Jim Brown came to Miami in 1984 to see what was going on with his Shower Posse and their drug dealing activities. And while he was here, in November that year, he walked into a house and executed 5 people. He walked around each one of them and shot them in the head with a .45. Jim Brown is a bad, bad man.
When he was arrested and
remember this?
Americans, he faced charges of murder, drug trafficking, extortion.
Who remember this?
From prison, he fought a legal battle against extradition. He lost the fight, but he never stood trial in an American court. It was said that too many powerful people would have been implicated if he had. Jim Brown was burned to death in his cell.
Hey, when you see Jim Brown, I talk to the camera. Who you think him I talk to? The politician them we align with. Jim Brown never make it out of prisoner blouse and skirt. Jamaican people, you still a champion them a type of something here? You still associate yourself with this? You don't know, yeah, man.
Quickly accident, more likely murder. Edward Seaga, the former Jamaican Prime Minister and Jim Brown's patron, led a funeral procession of 35,000 people. Tivoli is Seaga's constituency, and Jim Brown had brought in the votes. His drugs gang had established the Yardie connection in the United States and Britain, but in Jamaica he remained a hero.
Look at the man in terms of how the community respects and treats him as a protector of their community. Thank you.
In 1980, Seaga's love affair with the electorate was consummated when he won power for the Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP. The United States government liked his right-wing stance and channeled support through the CIA. The money was used to buy guns, which were distributed to party activists in the ghettos. On the other side of the divide was Michael Manley, leader of the left-wing People's National Party, the PNP. Manley, too, had his power bases in the ghetto. And the fervour of the support for the two parties created the biggest ideological gulf in Jamaica's history. It was a time when the Cold War was being fought in the Caribbean. Cuban guns and money were behind the PNP. During the 1980 election, Kingston erupted in an orgy of violence. At least 800 people were killed as the parties battled for votes. Of the gunmen who survived, many have since become Yardies. Tivoli's world is still polarised. Every aspect of life is touched by political division.
Kill him! Kill him, blood lad! Kill him!
And as ever, Edward Siaga is present to express solidarity with the home side. These are his people, body and soul. The manager of the Tivoli team is known universally by his street name, Popcorn. He's an activist for the Jamaica Labour Party.
Anyway, everything all right, I'm going to lie.
To Tivoli folk, he's a community protector, like Jim Brown. In the 70s, Popcorn was a JLP gun runner.
Sometimes life in the ghetto here, no work, nothing. No work, nothing, because if a PMP or a JLP, him not cut him up, him shot him. And at the same thing, two sides.
So people, I them a thing I don't want journalists then care back in our country. War against PMP and JLP. Only not rise above the blouse and skirt madness. Only really are going to make the man then talk about we will not surrender Jamaica. And we now follow up them foolishness there. The woman with the pharmacy where I refuse to give service to a PMP person. Yo, when you forget prison, you know, anybody where I push this are all way of politics, I forgot prison. Then if you have one law, one extrajudicial law, where if you try to foster up back this type of energy, you forgot prison. You're the most unpatriotic, undemocratic individual we can ever have in our society. You forgot prison. Just by trying to incite these type of violence back in our country, you figure out prison. Who is with me? Eh?
Well, I PMP, I mean, what's the well, and if you do me, I'm going to damage me. I'm going to damage him.
Look at them foolishness, sir.
The election will come on and decide out the street start fire. We have to fire back. Now we're not board, man. See?
Yo, are the politicians they set the people against them one another, you know? And the people them allow it, you know? Give one side gun, you know? Wanna hear them something, yeah? I wanna see roller Siaga play. Me you talk your mind, say, yo, them fi dig up him body and send him back to America. I don't disagree with him. I don't disagree with him. That man is a stain. You know how much people him responsible indirectly or directly for being unalive?
The Jamaican people
Party.
have had
No,
a
sir.
very difficult history. It's a history that is rooted in slavery and in colonialism.
Listen.
The Jamaican people are also very imaginative, very creative, very aggressive, and very willing to resist oppression. One of the unique features about slavery in Jamaica is that almost every 5 years there was a major rebellion. And I think that there is something in the Jamaican spirit that makes us willing to resist oppression. Now that might manifest itself in different forms.
What me want to know is where is that spirit? Why is that spirit of the Jamaican people dormant? Where the spirit they of rebelling and resisting the tyranny of this present government? Where is it? Jamaican people don't need to stand up and be proactive. There's legal ways. And I'm stressing legal. I'm not push no violence. I'm not push no irresponsible. There's legal ways. Jamaican people, flick on the voices be heard. Even before the election, support man like Will Rattigan and what they're doing. Sign the petition. Donate. The man them a teach, you know. I when them have the something. I when Rattigan have the something. So matter of fact, let me give my endorsement right now. Let me give my endorsement right now. Rattigan supposed to have that thing there soon, not true? I have a big thing, you know. Where them a keep, you know. Yeah. Will Rattigan. See? Let me see. Live stream. See it there?
We had several segments planned in St. Andrew.
See it there?
It's that simple. I said, let me see what Professor Joan, Professor Producer Joan, what you put up for it. One of the hardest working people, not just women, hardest working people in showbiz, you know. But when we say show, we don't mean like show like entertainment. We make show like show and tell, you know what I mean? Just put things up so that people can understand what's going on. Here we go. All right, you know me already. I said that, and I don't remember. I said it to Prezi, and Prezi just decided that, yeah, I'm going to put this up. Turn a blind eye to corruption and lose sight in your other eye.
Turn a blind eye to corruption, you lose sight in your other eye. Big up Sefu, big up Ariana, big up Sassidi, Velma. Everybody in that chat, Ryan Campbell, you don't know the word is love. Robert Brown, me never did see you. Fitz Samuels, big up yourself. Lily Valley, big up yourself. Yes, and the youth of the murder grand spin. I know nothing, brother. Yo, me miss them comment here. I'm sorry, cause when I cook, you know, hey, when me say me I cook, me just put in the work on the content. I miss them comments about, yo, may I tell you, the youth of grand spend. That's another alleged, wrongful, unaliving, mistaken identity. But let's continue. Listen to this.
It's that simple.
Want to highlight this. See there?
The rally. Don't forget. A week from today, June 21st.
Well, it's not a week from today, but a June 21st, people. Literally 5 days away this. Seeing the Ronnie Williams Entertainment Center. Right? All that. From AM to 6 p.m. What do I mean? AM to 10 p.m. Oh, 10 a.m. From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. People want to go care on the kids them. Them I teach them civics. You understand what I deal with? We need to get our young people involved. They are integral in the continued fight for true freedom in this country. We have a government that wants to keep us oppressed and keep us down and under their feet. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to arm our children them with the knowledge. You understand? With the history. Because you can't forget what has happened in the past. Alright, you say play the video. You have to send me a video in a Stefu. Any video you want me to play, send me it. Or they mash up and burn down the Eventide home. Alright, that's what you say, man. How are you, man? How are you talk about, man? I think I'll Mr. Lonesome did play that video there. See that? Hold on, let me find it differently.
Saturday from 10 to 6 or 7 or 8. The place to be, Ronnie Williams Entertainment Center in St. Andrew, Jamaica. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring everybody and come. We're going to really reconnect with each other and with the topic of civics. And we have an all-star lineup of speakers for you.
On the morning of May 20, 1980, a fire of unknown origin razed the Myers Ward at the Eventide Home for the Aged on Slidpen Road, Kingston 5. The Myers Ward was an old wooden building constructed during the late 19th century Jamaica, so it had quickly surrendered to the fire. Welcome back to Elite Jamaica, the place you come to learn about Jamaica and Jamaicans. If it's your first time joining me here, consider subscribing to the channel by clicking that red subscribe button. And do remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon so you never miss any of my updates. About 102
examples of actual paramilitary activity the CIA was involved in Jamaica. There was a fire, for example, that took place in Jamaica of an old people's home. I think 150 old and infirmed women, many of them blind, were living in this home, and as it turned out, the place burned down in the space of about 8 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes. It was discovered that the phone wires had been cut.
2 examples of actual paramilitary activity the CIA was involved in Jamaica.
So when you hear that, the eventide home situation, when you hear that for yourself, that I come from the people on the inside, the CIA documents them release, you know. It just go to show you how far these people will go, you know.
For the last few years, also a small handful of journalists who have been...
See, man,
in many ways, a very similar program, almost a...
See, man, eventide on fire, 153 old women on a line. Chill, what's up, man? OB, me show you the page, man. In name Sauce Times. Oh, where they? I'm gonna take it off right already, no. I'll find it back for you. Yeah, man, the anime them Sauce Times, man. Sauce Times, my friend. Show you what, boy. Sauce Times. Oh, slim right there, so. I'm gonna just subscribe, you know. See it there? Subscribe to that page, yeah. You understand? Subscribe to that page. I play it, man. I play it. Nine minutes. I play this. I don't think we need no more than this. This I like it. This I like it. This is it right here. This is the ultimate video to prove the point of me about the history of the Jamaica Labour Party, the wicked history against the people of Jamaica. Listen.
2 years, also a small handful of journalists who have been sort of CIA watchdogs, most prominent of which has been Lewis Wolf. We have an interview with him. Maybe you can, to introduce this interview, tell us a little bit about Lewis Wolf and his journalistic publications. Who is Lewis and what has he been doing over the years, and why is the government so outraged by him?
Well, his background is it's thoroughly legitimate standard, if you will, journalism. He was assigned for a couple of years in Manchester, writing for a couple of prominent news organizations.
Manchester, England?
Yes, Manchester, England. And eventually made his way through London back to the United States, where he gravitated to scrutiny of the CIA and the intelligence community, watching the revelations of the Church Committee, information that he had come across in his research, some of which he had published as part of news stories previously, other parts of which he was not permitted to publish by the nature of the press establishment. And so he put together with Bill Shapp and Ellen Ray the Covert Action Information Bulletin, whose function was to focus on the intelligence organizations of the United States and discuss and expose in a perfectly legitimate way the covert action activities of the CIA principally, as well as the other intelligence organizations. I believe they formed that in about 1976 and have been in Washington since, publishing stories of true stories. Their quality, their standards of journalism are exceedingly high. That bulletin is distributed in the State Department, and it's sold out the first morning that it's put on the stands in the State Department newsstands. They also publish in that bulletin the names of CIA agents and where they are now, as they're assigned and reassigned about the world. I believe that in very recent months they have ceased the policy of publishing names because the controversy is so hot, and they would just as soon... And also, it's never been their intention to break the law. They've made that clear from the outset. Bill Shapp is the brother. He is a highly competent attorney and is the brother of a top sportscaster in New York City. He is a very articulate man himself and has testified to the Senate many times against the names of Agents Bill, for example, and defending what he and Lou Wolf are doing. And after his testimony, many times senators have come up and shaken his hand and said, I disagree with you, but you certainly make your case for the legitimacy of what you're doing very well.
Let's take a look at some of the things which Lewis Wolf had to say, and we'll let you comment ever so often on this, okay? What, in the years that you've been publishing it, do you think are some of your most significant revelations? Are there some stories that even shocked you?
Well, I think one of the big stories that we were able to document in some detail was the whole scope of CIA activity, similar to what the CIA did in Chile, and which was documented by the Senate Select Committee, was the whole covert action program in Jamaica in between 1976 and 1980. And we did a great deal of research into that. And we discovered in many ways, a very similar program, almost a classic model that was followed along the lines of what they did in Chile, including three major categories: military, paramilitary activity, the use of propaganda in the...
Chelsea, what's up, love? People wanna hear this? Wanna hear the timeline of when the CIA was in Jamaica and what they wanna do? Hey, may I tell you, say, if you don't realize who the Jamaica Labour Party is by now, I don't know if you tell you, say.
In the media, and the third one, which was economic warfare, using the multilateral organizations, the International Monetary Fund and others, to withhold loans which had been promised to the Jamaican government. This is one example.
What are a couple more of the details of that? You particularly mentioned those first two examples of actual paramilitary activity the CIA was involved in Jamaica.
There was a fire, for example, that took place in Jamaica of an old people's home.
Talk about it.
I think 150 old and infirmed women, many of them blind, were living in this home. And as it turned out, the place burned down in the space of about 8 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes. It was discovered that the phone wires had been cut and that the exits had all been blocked. Even those who could see their way out could not get out. And that the means by which the fire was set was the use of a petroleum jelly, which was unavailable in Jamaica.
You hear that?
This was one indication among...
The jelly where they used to burn on the Eventide home, it was not available in Jamaica. Special military flammable substance. That's why the Eventide home burned down so fast. The man have evidence of that. Listen.
Among others, that there was outside help. Why would the CIA, you might ask, why would the CIA want to murder 150 old women? It was because it was an effort, part of a very large-scale effort to discredit the government in Jamaica, which was
Michael Manley.
At the time headed by Michael Manley.
Michael Manley was such a hero of the people. Michael Manley was doing so good for the people that the CIA, SIAGA, any means necessary to destabilize Jamaica people. Why you think? Why you think that song resonate? Eh? Why do you think this song resonate? Why do you think that song resonate, my people? But then there. Are what they say we are. Are what they say we are. And we need to fight the labor rights and to set Jamaica free. We are blood and fire comrades, and we marching on to progress. That is why that song is important, ladies and gentlemen. The man them want to take out Michael Manley, the one and true, authentic. This man was our Ibrahim Traore. Michael Manley was our Ibrahim Traore. The man said we now walk, we not crawling, we are going to walk. As leader, me not crawl as a leader to nobody, me not bow down. You know, dictate to me how to run my country. Or the people and what is best for the people of my country. We know what is best, and the people clearly see the benefit of what we giving them: free education, free health care. You understand what I deal with? The man used to me, so the man used to have some police. Any people when they on the road and they are school. Hello, want your parents, why are they at school? And them go to your parents, and them can't put the guy at school, you know. Pitney have their school when a school time, no pitney enough for them on the road. Eh? How can you, what a wicked piece of people, and fight a man like this? For unalive 153 people and people support Labour Party. You know what say, me have less and less tolerance for Labour right now. Every time I learn more history about this wicked blouse and skirt party, me have less and less tolerance for Labour right now. I want to support them people, brother. I want to support them people.
There were images produced of Michael Manley in the media, in the Daily Gleaner, which was the newspaper which the United States, through the CIA, helped to support. And there is a good deal of evidence of that. There were images of Michael Manley showing a death mask. I mean, it was his face which had been somehow made to look like a death mask. Although it was...
So I don't know them do propaganda. I don't know them put out false news. Them been a do it from them a time, yeah. Backside.
Pretending to be a photograph of him. And there were many ways to try and discredit him. This is very, very similar, in fact, to what the CIA did to try and discredit Salvador Allende in Chile. If you remember, Richard Nixon instructed the CIA in a meeting, which was in 1970, in the White House, and there was a document in the Senate report, which is reprinted, and he said, make the economy scream. Those were his words.
Wow.
That's, of course, what the CIA proceeded to do in Chile, and that's what they also did in Jamaica.
They also furnished a lot of munitions and assistance to the terrorist squads that were going around killing people in the cities and also in the countryside in Jamaica as well.
That's correct.
Well, John, you had a trip down to Jamaica, and you saw a lot of these things about Jamaica with your own eyes, right?
Yes, indeed. A very moving, a very interesting trip to me to see a target country at a time in the height of a CIA operation when I was completely outside. So there's no way that I could see the problem that journalists have always had when the U.S. government was targeting on a country in a situation, trying to destabilize it, overthrow, or manipulate the elections or whatever, of trying to figure out what's going on when you don't have access to all of the flow of cables and the discussions in National Security Council meetings and whatnot for the planning. I observed that from published information, the CIA station there was quite large for that size of a country. It was huge, in fact. It was.
When you hear that, the CIA was so deep in Jamaica that this man was so surprised at the size of the operation. What is so important about Jamaica? Why the CIA want to destabilize Jamaica? Jamaica, you remember the oil argument, you remember the gold argument. It is alleged that a long time the man they know say it there. And the potential is here. From Siaga days, it is alleged that the man them they know, the CIA them they know the potential. It is alleged. Not the CIA, but Siaga specifically. But if him know, them probably they know to because them an intelligence agency. You understand? Lloyd from Wagwan, Portland in a place, East Portland, big up. Listen that again.
The National Security Council meetings and whatnot for the planning. I observed that from published information, the CIA station there was quite large for that size of a country. It was huge, in fact. It was bigger than any station I knew of in Africa, although Jamaica was a fairly small island with two.
Yo, the man said the station in Jamaica bigger than the one them in Africa. Backside. The CIA base station where they set up in Jamaica bigger than the one them down in Africa. And what they are Jamaica so? Why Jamaica so important? Eh? You have to ask these questions, you know? What is it about Jamaica? Why was Jamaica so important for these people to hold on and keep down? Mighty God.
2 million people. That's typical of when the CIA has got a big operation going into place. They beef up the station and beef up the offices back stateside. The tone and flow of articles in the Gleaner was, of course, as Lou says, definitely a chapter out of Chile or a chapter out of the Angolan operation. Every indication of a massive CIA operation going to destabilize the government, to make the economy scream. And in that case, I would say that probably someone got promoted for that.
Canada, big up. Big up.
Because it worked.
By a legitimate.
Yeah, without a scandal, without an assassination, without the things that have caused the CIA so much grief. Manley, a champion of social democracy, of giving the people a piece of the pie, was thrown out of office, and an arch-capitalist was put in office. And again, there was minimal adverse publicity. Lou Wolf and the others were studying the situation and did publish about what was going on, but it was not published in the New York Times and the Washington Post, and the big television networks didn't do studies on it, primarily because even if the journalists of the big organs knew what was happening and might have wanted to, they really just, because of the secrecy, couldn't get the truth about what the United States was doing.
Whoa!
We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them.
My God.
Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland.
Yes.
Why me I travel to Portland?
Yes.
Take out somebody, man or woman.
People don't make me know want to think about that. Cause we are going to eat the cherry on top of the cake next. So start up the comment section.